Hey guys, and welcome back to the Donkey Kong Jungle Beat playthrough. In this part, we are doing. I think this is. Oh yeah, this is the last part of the main game, I should say. Well, not the main game. This is like the fake out ending or something. I don't even know what they're trying to do. Battle for Storm Hill is later in this part. That's my favorite level.
But the fake out could be a throwback to DKC1.
I get it. It's hard. It's odd. I'll explain it later. But yeah, this is another one of the yak riding levels. And again, I like these levels. They're a nice change of pace, and they show up enough to the point where they don't feel like they're like again, like I'm gonna bring up Sonic Boom because it's the first comparison that comes to my head. Like, it's not like you're just randomly in a Star Fox mini game for one level. This guy shows up a lot, so.
It's more like the Crash Bandicoot animal riding levels, where you have a handful of them scattered throughout the game, going up in difficulty as you go.
Throwing pineapples at scientists. And... No,
this is actually pretty funny, though. This pineapple cannon thing that you've got going on.
Yeah. They also all have they have a pretty decent variety of kind of level modes used too. Like you fight a boss on this thing. I think Iguanodon is what this dude's called. I only remember that because it's the name of the level. You don't have to beat him. Like, you can throw pineapples at him, or you can not. You can just pretend he doesn't exist. But you get 100 beats. For beating him, and it also makes
he loses his head.
Yeah, yeah, he does. Heads will
and he
roll.
Dies in
they
a
say.
glorious explosion. So he must have eaten Explodium before he showed up.
Tell me how he died.
You threw a pineapple. Oh, and that's just on the coroner's report. Pineapple. Cause of death. Pineapple.
It's always the pineapple.
Oh, so you're basically keeping yourself airborne for a little bit longer by running through the air as fast as you can, huh?
Yeah, that's my best.
Tell me, Ted, how does this game sound like when you're playing behind a closed door?
Something kind of like...
You've already done this joke.
Yeah, I know. Not like you're masturbating, though, which I think is the joke that John was trying to go for.
And I say you aren't banging the bongos hard enough.
Giggity?
If that sounds like bongos, you're in serious trouble.
Please consult your doctor if your junk does or does not look like bongos, no matter how much you beat them.
What the hell is this?
Oh, this is a cat you ride like a parachute. We've seen it it was in the first level, I think, but it shows up every once in a while. There's a variety of little animal buddies that pop up throughout the game.
Why is it a cat and not something that would logically do that, like a flying squirrel?
Because fuck your logic. It might be a flying squirrel. I just always called it a cat.
You didn't throw the dart at the dartboard, Lewis.
Well, using a flying squirrel as a parachute is a logical extension of that animal's abilities. Using a cat as a parachute is something that seems like a complete asshole would do it strictly for the amusement factor of pissing off PETA.
Lewis, this is a Donkey Kong game.
That's never stopped them.
No, I'm saying that Donkey Kong
true.
is the asshole that would try to piss off PETA.
True enough.
Donkey Kong's the kind of person that would show up to a PETA meeting and just because, fuck it all, scratches his ass during the entire meeting.
Right, hey, man, his ass is itchy, alright? Like, there's bugs in there.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen Bramble Blast?
You never, Donkey Kong never went into Bramble Blast, because that was a Donkey Kong Country 2 level.
I'm
Unless
so
you count
ashamed.
unless you count the thorn levels in Tropical Freeze.
Yeah.
Okay.
You suck it, nerd. Get out of my basement.
You said I could live here!
You don't deserve to live here.
I never actually played Tropical Freeze. I guess it was, I didn't really care for returns an awful lot, and I know I'm like the only person who...
But we mentioned it in passing earlier in the playthrough, but I liked it. I thought it was a really solid platforming Donkey Kong game.
Okay. I guess I should try it out at some point. It's probably a lot cheaper now that it's like a year old.
Nintendo, though, you know? You know,
Well, you can get it used.
Everyone I talk to basically says Tropical Freeze is better than Returns. So, whoa.
You know, Retro Studios just made a Twitter account.
Oh yeah, they just did, and the first.
I thought they always had one.
Nope. The first tweet was Peekaboo though. I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, you know, there was probably a Retro Studios Twitter account that was unofficial and just a news account done by fans. You can usually tell the difference because most companies go to the trouble of verifying their accounts and they'll have a little blue check mark next to them.
Yeah. Or someone that made the parody account will label it as a parody account in their...
Oh, well, not necessarily a parody account, because there are accounts that fans of various things or actors or whatever will make when the company or actor in question doesn't do a Twitter themselves, just so that they can post news updates, as a much simpler and easier way of doing that kind of thing than making a news site of their own, like TSSZ or whatever.
Yeah, most sites like that will try to label themselves as like a fan site, not like a fan Twitter or such.
Yeah. They'll say like this is not the official John Barrowman news thing or whatever.
And then I'm asking, who the hell is John Barrowman?
Actor from Doctor Who and some other things. I don't know what other things because I've only ever seen him in Doctor Who. I tell a lie. He was also in Torchwood.
Oh, is he? Who's its face? Captain Jack Sparrow.
Harkness. Captain Jack Harkness.
Captain Jack Sparrow. Okay.
He's not quite drunk enough to pull off Jack Sparrow, but
did we face this thing earlier?
Yeah. This is the third time. This is actually, I think, the hardest. The hardest.
They're all blending in. I gotta say.
Again, the bosses are the weakest part of Jungle Beat, but I think that this is the hardest hog fight. Not necessarily because of his patterns, but the environment. It's he jumps around a lot, and the way that these platforms are arranged, it's hard to get a hit in on him with the whatever these things are called, melons, fruit, whatever that he throws. It's very easy for you to, like, if you get it in the air, he'll be jumping right over it, and then you can't hit it at him no matter which way you press the bongos, so you just gotta wait. And then he also does this attack, and I fucked up, so now I don't get my platinum. I'm stuck with the gold. Gah. That's always the most disappointing thing, is when you had a good enough run on the levels to get the highest rank, but then you fuck up on the boss and you can't get that max ranking. That always sucks.
It always annoys me when ranking systems rely very heavily on the last couple seconds of a level to get your ranking.
Metal Harbor.
Yeah, that is the prime offender.
Well, no, after some practice, I could get onto the top thing at Metal Harbor. What I could never do is hit all of the ring boxes on the little snowboarding section at the end. I've never been able to perfect the level because of that.
I perfected the level a few times.
Oh, well. Pat yourself on the back there, Mr. Malice.
Will do.
That's
okay. All right, watch this. Hey, we're gonna go teach you a fucking lesson.
Yeah. Get bitch slapped by stupid hog, whatever no, Donkey Kong. That's the wall.
Float hog.
I didn't know that you could spawn before playing this boss. I didn't know that you could spawn fruit out of him by doing that, and I'll never do it again because I still don't know how exactly I did it.
That was interesting.
Not really.
And the award goes to the biggest lie of 2015 is
that
was
dude,
interesting
no,
Lewis.
No, dude. The biggest lie of 2015 is going to be whatever release date Nintendo says for its game at E3. Let's be real here.
Are we talking Zelda or
whatever they announce? Such and such will be released this winter. Ha, no.
Sometimes they throw curveballs at us. I mean, they said Majora's Mask 3D was spring 2015, and lo and behold, now it's coming out February 13th.
It's still a lie. Just because it's a lie that we happen to like, it doesn't mean that it's.
That is
unless the groundhogs eat whatever it is and we get spring early.
that is a game that is already mostly developed, and they basically just had to upgrade the engine and bug fix it for the new system. But yeah, the real litmus test there is going to be the Wii U Zelda game.
Which
and
is not coming out this year, no matter what anybody says.
Okay, I see what Ted's doing. Ted, you're a good guy.
You know what?
Shut up!
You know what? I don't care when that comes out because it just looks so goddamn awesome. And Dragon Age Inquisition kind of, has enough open world stuff in it for me to, kill the time with. So I'm good with that.
Anyway, back to what's going on screen. This is Battle for Stormhill, which has easily the best track in the game, which is why it's in Smash Brothers. I would have liked for it to get remixed, but, whatever. It's good enough on its own.
Wait, that's a Donkey Kong track?
Yeah, it's a Donkey Kong track. It plays.
No, you see, when I see a title in Smash Brothers that's Battle of anything, I automatically assume Fire Emblem for some reason.
Well, it's in the Donkey Kong stage.
Well, I don't know that. The only time I ever see the Donkey Kong music is when I go into the music menu, because fuck picking the Donkey Kong stages.
No, it's true. There's been one good Donkey Kong stage in the history of the series, and that's the Donkey Kong stage from Smash 64.
I don't know, I kind of like Jungle Japes from Suit Melee.
It's the stupid river. I can't stand...
well, I'm not saying it's great, but it's certainly playable compared to other DK stages.
What about Congo Jungle?
That's the one with
right.
the DK rap playing.
Yes.
It's kind of boring. It's vanilla, but not in a good way.
It has a DK barrel in the bottom.
That's kind of like saying that the Star Fox stage has the Great Fox on it.
Well, it does. Well, that's not wrong.
Oh, yeah. I love this animation.
What the hell? That thing, what was that?
Everything else gets this massive supersonic beat down. That guy just gets a bonk to the head.
That thing looked like a Jinjo for a second. It was like a subtle take that at Banjo-Kazooie. It's like, fuck collecting these things. I'm gonna make it implode.
Ninja. Oh, man. Okay, if that rumor about Rare wanting to make another Banjo-Kazooie game is true, they should put that in there. I'm not sure if I want I'm not sure if I want Rare to be making another Banjo-Kazooie game. Actually, I'm sure I don't want them making another Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, you'll play it.
Oh no, I know I'm gonna play it, especially since my brother's got an Xbox One for Christmas. So of course I'm gonna play it, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna be happy about it.
Well, it's not another Banjo-Kazooie game that's the problem. Is that Banjo-Kazooie game going to be another Banjo-Kazooie or another Nuts and Bolts?
If they made another Nuts and Bolts after the fan reaction, it'd be like if Sega made another Sonic Boom.
People clamor for Rare to return to what they do best. I'd say, why not?
Well, the thing is that nobody at Rare right now still worked at Rare when they were making Donkey Kong Country, and
I'd imagine the development team be different, but I'd still say give it a shot.
That's all I have to say to that is
Because before Banjo-Kazooie and their golden years on the N64, they were also responsible for all of that third-party shovelware shit that was published on the NES and Super Nintendo.
Also Battletoads.
You mean the stuff that was often published by LJN and whatnot?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was developed by Rare.
Like the Nightmare on Elm Street game. No, wait, not no. Yeah, it was Nightmare on Elm Street. I was getting it in Friday. Did they do the Friday and 13th game too, or just Nightmare on Elm Street?
I don't know, but I think the most recent review AVGN did on that is Beetlejuice.
Oh, they did the Beetlejuice game?
I think so. It looked pretty terrible too.
Yeah, I gotta wonder how many of the same people worked on that, as did like the N64 games. Because yeah.
Well, everyone starts somewhere. That might have just been the crap they were putting out while they were learning to draw, so to speak. I mean, everyone who's ever tried to draw has done awful stick figures and stuff that looks terrible. They just never want to admit it because it looked terrible.
The most cliched artist thing is, oh, my old work is so awful. Is like, that's a very cliched artist thing to say.
It's because it's most often true.
Well, it's most often true, yeah.
Well, it is true, but I find it often happens in cases where, like, for some reason, like, somebody's really well known for something that they did a long time ago, and then the artist will be like, I look at the old stuff you love, and I'm like, oh, this is so awful. Like, that tends to, I tend to hear that.
Everyone is self-critical.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not.
Self-critical. Also, some artists have a tendency to want to be recognized more for their recent stuff because that would be a sign that they've improved.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But then when their old stuff gets talked about more than their new stuff, it can be frustrating, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Because I'm sure that everybody wants to remember. Well, like, actually, I'm gonna be that same one. Like,
well,
I tried to watch
Pokemon
Yellow.
Really
I tried to watch the Pokemon Yellow playthrough a couple days ago, and I sound like I'm 17 years old because I am.
Yeah, it's just no creative person ever wants to feel like they're stagnating. So yeah.
But do you want to be known for your award-winning children's show or your early days when you were a porn artist?
Well, that's an extreme example, but it's the same basic principle, you know.
Hey! You're never gonna have that body ever again.
Well, all I'm saying is that you know, just as a general message to viewers, when you're a fan of a given artist or game developer or whatever, give their newer stuff a shot, see how they've improved, and if they have improved, appreciate them for it. Don't just get stuck on the classic stuff because that was what you grew up with or whatever.
Like, no, that's very true. Like whenever I if I find anything that I really enjoy, be it like a comic or a video game or an art or like a musical artist or something like that, I go and look into the other stuff that they do, and a lot of times I find stuff that I never would have thought I would have been interested in otherwise. Like, I think a good example of that for me would probably be I read Matt Fraction's Hawkeye run, which is one of the more talked about Marvel runs recently. It's really good. And so I looked into other stuff he did, and then I suddenly realized that I was interested in the Fantastic Four because he did a short run on that, although it got canceled for. I think he was taken off of the run for some reason, and I heard rumors that they were canceling Fantastic Four for some reason, probably because of stupid copyright bullshit. But you know, I'm not going to talk about stuff I don't know about, so I'll just leave.
Wow, this tangent went on a wild and unexpected direction. All I wanted to say is
a lot of people died.
Yeah. All I wanted to say is give artists new stuff a chance so that they have a chance to be appreciated for, you know, how much they improve over time. That's all.
Also, so they can eat.
Yes.
That too, yeah.
Everything's really fuzzy in this universe. I noticed, like even the pigs, which are not normally super fuzzy. Although I know exactly why that happens. It's so that they can show off their fancy GameCube for rendering technology.
Yeah, at the GameCube's point in time, there were, there were a particularly few games and a particular few graphical touches that really looked stunning compared to everything else. Just because they skirted close enough to next-gen technology, I guess you could say that they stuck out against everything else.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, like, a lot of GameCube, I hate when I lose, like, 100+ beat combo. But there are quite a few GameCube games pushed, like, fur textures. Like, I'm pretty sure the Star Fox games gave Fox a really, really, like, well-designed furry model. Even though you're, like, I think even Assault... Oh, well, I guess it makes a sense for Assault to have it, because I always forget that game has on-foot missions. Are they any good?
This looks really awkward. Kind of like playing Operation with a giant blue bird. But yeah, GameCube graphics tended to push. I think they tended to push fur textures and water graphics. Like there would be a couple games with really good water graphics. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles was a thing. Usually non-interactive water graphics, but really good water graphics just the same.
If it doesn't flow nicely, it at the very least looks nice. We're riding that yak in that bonus game. I think it was last part. It had really nice looking ice backgrounds, which I think from a graphical standpoint was just stationary water, which what ice is, but it looked nice.
GameCube games tended to push, like I know we talked about this during, what's this called? Star Wars, but lots of polygons on screen. They wanted to do that too. And I think this game particularly wanted to have, like, kind of big sweeping backgrounds as well, because there's a lot going on in the background here, like, Ninja Kong beating the shit out of me. But also, like, you can see the burning level that we were just in the background. I love when games do that, like, show where you can see levels that you've been in before, or previews of stuff that you're about to be in. And you see, this is why I'm not recording Punch-Out for the channel, because I am not good at these kinds of games.
This is playing out exactly like a Rocky movie.
Yeah.
You just gotta get hit in the face enough times and you'll start making a comeback.
Yeah, you just, you run through the burning...
Because nobody knows how to block in those movies.
Oh man, in boxing, blocking is a thing, but you do mostly bob and weave a lot.
Well, the point is you dodge and you defend yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to block, all you have to do is put your hands up in boxing, right? That would still hurt.
Let me try that.
It's still hurt if they punch that. Like, it's not your face, but it's not gonna tickle. You obviously don't want to hurt your arms while you're boxing either, but it's also better than getting hit in the face, because that'll disorient you. And getting hit in the face also causes some odd problems in other parts of your body, like not being able to move your back as well.
And the brain damage.
Well, there's that too, yes.
And the brain damage.
But
so yeah, my performance on that level was abysmal. But yeah, here is our not final boss.
How do you transcend Ninja Kong?
Well, you'll see when we get to the later parts of the game.
Obviously, Kami Kong.
What?
Kami Kong.
Kami Kong?
Also,
yes.
depending on whose side you're on, Pirate Kong.
Yeah, Kami Kong and his evil twin brother Piccolo Kong.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Kami as in God Kong. Okay, I thought you liked Kami. It was like he's a communist. Communist Kong. I was like, wow, that is a very offhand example.
Well, we were just talking Rocky movies, so I can't blame you for that one.
Yeah, the Drago Kong.
Okay, I was wondering what you were mixing me up with, because Kami should have been easy.
No, I heard Kami as a communist.
We're all nerds here, so...
How dare John have some culture?
Knowing about communism is not culture, okay? That's more like history know-how. That's not exactly culture, that's...
It's sort of. It's American pop culture, like an obsession with communism being evil. Cause it is
that's not American. That's not American pop culture, that's just America.
America! Fuck yeah.
Okay, so this is Ghastly King. I think he evolves into Haunter King. But anyway, this is, I like this boss fight, but I'd like it a lot better if you didn't have to do it twice. It starts off really easy. You punch the fire to make it go away, and then you beat up he Goomba stomps his own pig, okay. And then it works kind of like a combination between, like, the normal boss fights and the Punch-Out style boss fights, which I think is really kind of a cool idea. Cause like when you, like normally when you, fight a normal boss fight, you'll like clap to get into a mode where you can beat the shit out of them like that, but in this case, when you clap in the opening, most of the time, it instead goes to a Punch-Out style thing where you have to find the right opening to attack, and then you can start beating the shit out of him. Although, for some reason, I keep on finding the shortcuts accidentally. Like, I didn't even know you could attack him like that the first time I played the game.
Man, those kicks look like they hurt when they hit.
Yeah,
Sweep the leg.
Yeah, they do quite a lot of damage. It's
No,
very
I
difficult
just
to
mean-
platinum this. You do have to basically get a no. You basically have to take no damage if you want to platinum rank
Yeah.
this boss fight.
Well, I just mean in terms of what they do when they hit you. They like sweep you up and launch you across the room.
Oh yeah, no doubt. They look painful.
Yeah,
But he's
it's
really not that
visually-
hard.
It's visually very well done.
Yeah. It's a pretty fun boss to fight. Although I've never quite gotten the hang of him, like being able to like take him out without taking any damage or anything like that.
So is that championship belt just for show, or did we actually steal that?
I'm gonna just imagine that he does, but then Little Mac wins it right away at the end of Punch Out.
Son of a bitch. No wonder he wants revenge.
I could never beat that asshole. No, I could never beat Donkey Kong, I should say, in Punch Out Wii. Like, I could just never figure out his timing.
Well, he's a monkey.
Well, yeah, exactly.
What? An ape, I guess, would be.
Whatever, we had this argument already. So yeah, after you beat, well, it's the thing. I'm pretty sure they show the credits after you beat him, but I cut them back. I cut them out because we're gonna watch them at the end of the playthrough. But after you beat him, you unlock 4 more levels, and then after you beat those 4 more levels, you get another final boss. So I was kind of just wondering why they even put him in there to begin with. Like, why not just have the next 4 levels?
Because it's the year of our Lord 20XX, and fake out endings are the in thing. You know, it's just the thing video games do nowadays.
Sure. Why don't we go with that?